Breaking, Al Sharpton totally freaks out, issues nasty threat. This is really disgusting. Will somebody please tell Al Sharpton to shut up? We know, like everyone else in America, the race-baiting hustler, Sharpton has a right to his opinions no matter how outrageous, but there are those times, which is almost all of the time, when those hip-shot points of view of his are so damn ridiculous. You want to tell Al street corner Sharpton to get a real job? According to Christian News Alerts, during the Obama administration, racial tensions in this country soared. This had a lot to do with the former president coming out and claiming that there was indeed racially fueled violence in the United States. As you can imagine, under President Trump, the Democrats have only gotten worse. Recently, Al Sharpton managed to prove that he is not done inciting race-baiting violence. And ESPN reporter Jameel Hill made highly inappropriate remarks regarding the president, and now there is a conversation taking place about whether they should fire her. According to the Daily Caller, Sharpton responded to this event by saying that if ESPN does this, they're going to face the wrath of a lot of us. This kind of behavior is highly inappropriate, especially if you understand the full context of the story. It all started when Hill got on Twitter to share her opinion of the president. The ESPN reporter tweeted out a message that said Donald Trump is a white supremacist who has largely surrounded himself with other white supremacists. She had no evidence to back this up and didn't even offer a reason as to why she might make such a bold statement. As you can probably imagine, the blowback from such a comment was fierce. It got so serious that even ESPN, which is a largely liberal network, apologized for Hill's outlandish and unprofessional remarks. President Trump got wind of the remark and took to Twitter to respond. He said ESPN is paying a really big price for its politics and bad programming. People are dumping it in record numbers. Apologize for untruth. Absolutely. White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders said that she believes that ESPN should fire Hill, stating, "I think it's one of the more outrageous comments that anyone could make, and certainly something I think is a fireable offense by ESPN," Huckabee Sanders stated. She went on to say that "I think it is a fireable offense based on the standard that ESPN has set themselves by saying that people that go too far and make political comments have been suspended from their network. I think that that is consistency that they should probably focus on." Sharpton, enraged by the idea that ESPN might fire Hill, came out to defend her. He stated that if they fire her, they would be robbing a person of their right to express their views. Odd how suddenly free speech matters to Democrats, right? Yeah, but you're working for a company and you cannot state what your views are when you're being paid by a company, right? Then to go on and threaten wrath on ESPN for firing someone who attacked the president based on zero evidence is just downright childish. There needs to be a standard. It doesn't matter where you work. If you worked at a fast food restaurant and called your manager a racist off the clock in the parking lot, you would get fired. The same would apply if you called a customer, coworker, or anyone else such a cruel name, especially without evidence. Sharpton is pretending that this standard doesn't exist because it goes against the narrative of the left. Instead of trying to have a constructive conversation about someone who said something inappropriate, Sharpton seems to be back to his race baiting again. Due to past experiences, people cannot be too surprised at his behavior and his inexcusable defense of Hill. Sharpton is a fraud and a con artist. He does not care about American people or our country. It is high time he pays for his crimes and the cost of his words. So totally true. Yes, you're working for a company. There's a certain standard, a certain decorum that someone should follow when you're working for a company. And Al Sharpton thinks that the American people are afraid of his rhetoric. We're not. Tell him to get a real job and stop being funded by and being a Soros shill, actually, and cut it out because nobody's buying his garbage. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.